Okay, so I have a feeling that security guard's going to be stalking me, so watch out for security intersecting me as I pull out of this coffee bean tea leaf on Canoga in Woodland Hills. The activity's been pretty high lately. Somehow something set them off to where I was getting buzzed a lot yesterday. Last night. Okay, so watch out for security guard passing in front as I leave the area. So as he's demonically controlled, as these are. See, here he comes. Here he comes right here, right on schedule. Right on schedule. What did I tell you? See, there he goes. Right in front, just as I was explaining. So as to basically give the impression of escorting me off the property, and so that there's a sense of being a suspect in the area. And he's demonically controlled. I'm not saying that he's a paid gang stalker. The demons that when you serve Satan in these occupations, especially these security guards that are, if you have that job, generally, I'm not saying, but generally, you're weak-minded and you can be controlled. And if you don't, especially if you don't have any Christ consciousness, and if you did, you wouldn't be serving these corporate goons. So keep in mind that it's just to get your goat. That's one of the main things about it. And see, to underestimate the tactic is to make a mistake, because they know that no matter who you are, no matter what the situation is, it will have a build-up effect. It will have a cumulative effect. So it will make you more and more angry over time. And they know that all it takes, and I've explained this before, that one day when you explode, one day when the injustice of it, the harassment of it, the buildup of the rage finally gets to a point where something can happen, and they can stage it, because they develop these whole plans. Remember, they're demons. They specialize in this. They specialize in human psychology. They know what they're doing, and the level of planning is beyond what you can believe they can do. That's why you have to understand it is demonic. It is not, people with, advanced degrees in psychology sitting in these rooms planning it out. I'm not saying that isn't happening, but the real story is that it is in fact demonic, and they study how to do this in complete in these kingdoms, or these classes that they study this in. It's like a whole science that they do. So it's not like it's not like what we think is that human scientists brilliantly putting stuff together. No, this stuff starts in the demonic realm. They have whole degree programs of how to destroy humans through this stalking program. Once they know that you are a Christian or an enemy of the state, and you need to be minimized, taken out. Yeah, like I said, the activity is apparently high. There was like a freakish rain, and they were really like going ape somehow. Like really, somehow the activity was really picking up. And because sometimes certain things will flare up, and it could also be like I was talking about earlier, the Christmas guard. Like they want everybody to be happy and joyous and shopping. They don't want any sobering Christian presence even in the area, so they can get excited and try to continue that sense of isolation, that isolating tactic of making you feel like an outsider. Nobody else has helicopters and police vehicles and security that stalk them every single place they go to continue to build the narrative that you are a criminal type person, you are a security threat in the area, you are somebody that is undesirable for the nice, good people that are around the area. I was watching these movies with Robert David Steele, and he was talking about the you know, how Trump is making these big mistakes, and the sealed indictments, if you've been following all that, and you know, they're going to, you know, try to expose these people, and they're saying that they're going to put them in a prison in Guantanamo, and they've got it all set up now for elite type prisoners. And what I'm kind of coming away from this is that don't fall for the Trump Psyops. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that they know what's happening. They know that they plan for the fact that there's going to be enough people realizing that it's all a crock. This whole thing is a giant BS campaign, and so they know that if they don't have some sort of sense that people are realizing it and doing something about it, this answers that sense. That's why what Trump is doing doesn't make sense. It just straight up doesn't make sense, because here he is on the one hand doing these sealed indictments, and people are saying, oh, he knows a lot more than he's saying, and you know, it's you know, he's you know, really moving in on it, but you know, he has to move slowly because this, that, and the other. But then he surrounds himself with people like John Bolton, which doesn't make sense. And all these other, you know, criminal, pedophile people that cover up for Hollywood, and warmongers, and you know, like John Bolton, that bloodthirsty warmonger bastard. I can't believe anybody possibly can believe that Trump doesn't know what his background is, and yet that's who he has as his foreign policy agents. And Robert David Steele was saying that, you know, hey, I try to advise Trump on this, and Trump is like this one lone hero that's doing all this, but he needs to, you know, realize and wake up that he can't do it by himself, and you know, he's lost a lot of time. And the thing I don't think he gets is, it doesn't make any sense that he's doing any of this anyway. I mean, it just doesn't make sense that he doesn't know about all this, you know, that he doesn't know about these people that are you know, he has working for him. And once again, don't throw out the fact that he says before he took office that he wasn't going to bomb other countries that did nothing to us. He was going to save that money to try to fix up home. We got schools that are broken at home, and you know, all kinds of stuff that we need here, and pull our troops out of all these foreign countries, and yet and you know, and stop bombing these other people that did nothing to us in these empire wars. But he's doing more than Bush or Obama. More than Bush or Obama. Where is the disconnect? How don't you understand that this can't be right? Buzz in progress, buzz in progress. Here it comes. Got your buzz in progress, buzz in progress. Psychological warfare for uploading reptilian shapeshifter movies to YouTube, exposing our reptilian overlords.
The reptilians arrived here and again began to take over, instilled themselves in different places underground in the earth, and also this one part of them, the ruling part, took over and became involved in the politics and in the religion, and started controlling through these means at that point in time.
Exposing our reptilian overlords. If you don't go along with the program, you will be targeted for psychological destruction, financial destruction, social destruction, mental destruction. And one thing I've learned as a result of being a target is that everybody is demonically mind controlled. And so everyone around you can be demonically mind controlled to come against you, to step on the gas and zoom by. It's one of the tactics they use. One thing I want to witness, in case once again I haven't made it clear to people recently watching my movies, is that they actually simultaneously, while they are doing a buzz, They also do a person zooming by, like driving too fast on that street, which is illegal, and of course the cops will never bust them for that. So to finish up with that, I am not buying the Trump thing. Still. See, I think it's a psyop. You know, and everybody's like, well, you know, he's you know, doing some good, and you know, they got the sealed indictments, and you know, he's moving this guy and that guy, and they're gonna, you know, okay, he got delayed a little bit, all right, you know, and you hear the stuff like from the Prophecy Club, and he's, you know, and even he says, you know, you know, even though we should pray for Trump, that, you know, the Jeremiah 51 saying that, you know, we would have healed Babylon, but she will not be healed, tells us that we'll fail. Yet we should all still pray for Trump like he's the good guys and he's going to, you know, manage to pull this off. I think what he's missing is that Trump is not only part of it, he was planned to be part of it from the very beginning. You know, if he's not consciously part of it, you know, they have it all planned out, knowing exactly what he's going to do. They can mind control him to, you know, even though he thinks his mind is his own, they can control his mind at certain times to do certain things. And I'm not forgetting, once again, you know, he said he wouldn't bomb other countries, and then when he gets in office, he bombs more than Bush and Obama. Said he would spend that money at home. He's not doing that. What's his excuse? And you know, I would be happy to be wrong and to have him turn out to be the good guys, and you know, all right, great, you know, and he's, you know, actually really trying to, and then, you know, we could actually get some, you know, those sealed indictments and those people mass arrested. I don't think it's going to happen. Mark my words. Something like they're going to get real close, and then, oh, there's going to be some sort of big disruption or something. You know, war breaks out, or national emergency or something. Oh yeah, can't really do it, and you know, can't arrest Hillary, can't do anything about Cheney, you know, and all these other criminals, pedophiles, and everything, because there's some big financial emergency. You know, it's war with Russia, or you know, war with North Korea, or something. You know, some kind of BS. You know, to you know, to distract and whatever, and then no, they try to do it, I couldn't do it, so, you know, there's not going to be a I mean, I'll, you know, once again, I'd be, you know, like, wow, okay, great, but friends, I just wouldn't hold your breath. I think all that people are getting hyped up, and you know, that guy in the Prophecy Club was saying, you know, yeah, you know, it's you know, we got to pray for Trump, and you know, he's you know, this close, and the QAnon's releasing the information, and you know, it's December 5th now, and you know, that's when they, you know, think they might do it, and or it might be delayed until 2019, you know, and there's always some delay, and something else, you know, and bottom line to it is, it's the same thing as the Alien Silver League. You know, they defeated the Reptilian cabal on this one planet, and then yeah, the evil people try to leave Earth, and they blocked them, and you know, now the elite are panicking, and you never see a single change in anything in any of the wicked governments. You know, look, don't listen to the rhetoric. Okay, and everybody's cheering for the military buildup on the border, and then they're saying that Russia is, you know, they got military equipment in Mexico, and they're getting ready to move on America, and that's just whipping up, and everybody's cheering. All the Republicans and you know, the conservatives are, you know, cheering Trump. You know, hey, yeah, he's you know, he's going to save our country. You know, with you know, taking military control because Antifa is going to riot, so we have to you know, they have to mobilize. And this one guy was saying, yeah, they called him back from vacation or sick leave or something else, and it's very rare, you know, for these reserves to be called up, and you know, they're getting ready for a big, yeah, and everybody's cheering for the martial law that is going to be imposed on America. And guess what? Guess who's really in charge of that and running it all? Don't be fooled. It's you know, I mean, don't cheer this whole narrative, even though it looks like it's coming from these, you know, rogue people and, you know, Christian sites like the Prophecy Club. You know, even though they changed their icon and it's something else and it's not the same. Maybe it's that same guy, but you know, or it looks like the same guy, or you know, I just you know, I think there's definite cause to say, wait a minute. See, YouTube, they know now that most people are getting their, you know, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but what I hear and understand is that in reality, most people have tuned out the major networks, at least most of the, you know, younger people that are, you know, starting to catch on to the BS that the mainstream news is. And so most people are getting their news from the internet. And but on YouTube, you know, there's a lot of darkness. You know, I would say don't fall for the darkness, the hate, the violence whipping, you know, the hate whipping on YouTube. Don't buy it. Don't get into it. I'm telling you, I'm right here with all the rest of you. I mean, I feel it, like I'm saying, yeah, the build up and the migrant caravan, they're going to invade and yeah, we got to support our, military troops on the border. We got to stop them from coming in, and I get whipped up into it, I'm like, yeah, and every, righteous white man's got to stand up in America and, all that kind of, thing. But it's a reptilian tactic. It's a demonic tactic to whip up hate. See, I noticed that there's 3 games that they want you in: the money game, the political game, and the violence game. Don't play their game. Rather, be steadfast in the faith of Jesus Christ and hold on to our profession as Christian ministers to continue and to use and talk about His words and the salvation that's coming. Now, they're getting people ready for the violence game. Okay? It's all planned out. They know exactly how people are going to react. They know what's going to happen. They have it planned out. They want people in the violence game now because they got it coming from several directions, and people are getting to the point now where they're getting ready. See, we've had this long period of peace, but we know that God is going to send the angel that's going to take away peace from the earth, and that's coming very soon. And I would just say, remember the commandment, thou shalt not kill. Do not be fooled. If you pick up the gun, what are you doing? How wise is that? Don't use their weapons. The only time that you can possibly kill somebody, and it's right, is if God tells you to. Otherwise, if people are going to enact violence against you, and it's going to happen, and it's not going to be avoided, and if it's your fate to die, it's your fate to die. But do not break the commandment, because remember, it's your soul that they're after. They want you to commit violence. They're getting you ready for violence. They're going to try to tell you that God is saying that you need to pick up arms, that you need to enact a breaking of His commandment to not kill. That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to get involved in. They're constantly publishing these gun magazines and talking about how basically you gotta carry a concealed weapon, and the righteous people are standing up for themselves, and they have the gun commercial, where the guy says, I was just standing by my car, and this guy says, do you have a gun in your car? And he says, yeah. And then next thing you know, I'm being handcuffed by a female officer. And just watching that makes you angry because of the injustice of it. And I do think it is an injustice. We've lost our country, or if we ever had it. But the bottom line is, though, that what that's doing is it's whipping up hatred and anger in the minds of Americans that are watching that stuff, saying, hey, wait a minute, we have a Second Amendment, gosh dang it, and we have a right to keep and bear arms and everything. But remember, if you kill somebody and it's not in righteousness, oh no, that's a lot worse than if you yourself just get shot and killed. Because God says that even if your body in this world is killed, not a hair on your head will perish if you are righteous. And if you pick up the gun, if you get sucked into the whole violence thing, this applies to you soldiers as well. I know a lot of you out there are just like me, looking for a job, and you sign up in the military and everything. But once you are aware that hell is real, and there are people there right now suffering unimaginable torment.
It was just a hole that went straight down, and it was hot, really hot, and it was really, really loud as well. I could hear people crying and screaming for help every second they were being tortured.
My body's on the floor. My spirit and soul is coming. I went to a place that had a drop-off point, and these big black gates started opening up. All I could see is from what I could see with my eyes, and as far as I couldn't see no more. It was like an ocean of people screaming and crying. And all I could hear is, "Get me out of here, please. Please get me out of here."
And I find myself in this big, big, dark place. There's fire and there's screaming, there's shouting, and people saying that, "Let me out. Let me out. I want to do right. I want to do right this time. I promise to do right. Let me go out and tell the world and let them know that this is a real place. Hell is real."
I've seen it. The world needs to know about hell. Everyone needs to know about hell.
Giant chamber. We stood above and we looked down, and I saw like an ocean of souls. Many, many souls.
I said it was just very large, 13 feet tall, and just extremely muscular. And this thing, like I said, it just picked me up like I weighed nothing to it. And it was taking me along for a ride. And but just I only looked at its face for, I would say, a second, and that's all that it took. Yeah, I was just, as a man, I'm not afraid of any other man on the face of this earth. I will fight anybody. I don't care how much bigger they are than me. But this thing, there was no fighting it. I mean, it was far too big. I mean, 13 feet tall versus 6 feet tall. I could stack another one of me on top of my head and still not be as tall as it.
And suddenly I was pulled out of my body, like being sucked out of your body. And I found myself falling through the air, and I landed in this actual prison cell in hell. And there were these demonic creatures in this cell.
What were they like?
Reptilian in appearance, bumps and scales all over their bodies. Yeah. These particular two were about 12 or 13 feet tall. But the one picked me up, threw me into the wall, tremendous strength. I collapsed on the floor. I felt bones broken. Yeah. The other one dug his claws into my chest, tore the flesh open. You have a body in hell, but it can withstand this torment.
And there's no way out. And it's too late once you're there. You can't tell God, I want to do right once you're there. You got to do right now. And doing right now means making sure that you're not in a situation of breaking his commandment and fighting these unrighteous wars. Because if you're fighting for Babylon, America, you're fighting an unrighteous war. Chances are. In fact, it's almost certain. I don't mean to speak against the military. I was military myself, and, I just think that, now that I understand that the Word of God speaks against America in Jeremiah 50 and 51 and Isaiah 13 and 14, it makes it very clear that the mighty men of Babylon, the military people, are going to be scared at a certain point coming up. They're going to be hiding in their bunkers for fear of what's coming. And I would say that the wise thing to do would be to quit. Get the hell out of there, no matter what. Stop doing it. I know it's tough to get out. I know, but you gotta, what's your soul? Are you going to be caught up fighting for essentially Satan's nation? Is what America is. We now find this out. It's the corrupter of the whole earth, the hammer of the whole earth, and payback is coming. I mean, it is really coming. Everybody knows it. People who know the Bible know it. And I just wouldn't be caught holding the gun for America.